Good morning. Today is the 11th of December 2022. I'm still recovering from my grocery haul a couple of days ago. I'm not too sure why it's taken so long to recover, but it is. To distract myself, I've been paying attention to a couple of news stories. The one that I guess is on my mind today, because I just happened to watch a very funny video about it, which seems to match my own thinking on the subject. Believe it or not, it's Brexit. What now? It's 6 years going on to 7 years that this has been an issue with the UK. And the disclaimer, of course, is just my opinion, and I'm not British. So the act of madness, in my opinion, that is the 2016 referendum, which said yes, we will, as this YouTuber put it, we will jump collectively off a cliff. Let's go. Let's see how well we can do. Don't get me wrong. I really hope that it works for them. I don't understand how it could work for them. Prove me wrong. I just, my limited understanding, and I've got a little bit of college, I've got my high school. I'm just a guy who pays attention to economics in the sense of, like, my economics is budgeting for my food, my rent, budgeting to get by. That's good economics right there. As far as I know a little bit about trade, I don't know. Like, I go for the best deals. I cut back when with stuff I can't afford. I budget accordingly. Why collectively the Brits thought that they could cut out, what was it, 40% of their trade with the EU for this elusive thing called sovereignty, which, again, the Ukrainians want sovereignty and they're willing to go to war. So, I mean, as far as the term, as far as the emotional response to doing things your own way, trust me, I know a lot about doing things my own way. It's gotten me into trouble, but it's also gotten me where I am. So, I mean, no, I'm all for sovereignty. And if sovereignty is worth impoverishing yourself, so be it. Case in point, Ukraine. Right now, they're living without electricity at times, right? They're being slaughtered in their homes. Excuse me. Sovereignty is something worth defending. It's something we're striving for. All the power to you. That said, the UK is not Ukraine. There is no boogeyman, and I use that term. It's more than a boogeyman, but there is no one in the UK trying to take away their sovereignty. They were at the table in the EU making the rules that they are abiding by. There was no one telling them what to do. Yes, they dressed it up. The Brexiteers, they dressed it up like, yes, evil EU is telling us what to do. Well, you're kind of telling yourself what to do, but that's okay. I think that they collectively bought into it. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just saying I don't get it. Similarly, here in Canada, we had a similar referendum, if you want to call it, but it was actually more of an election, back in '88, where the people were given a choice. Do we do a free trade agreement with the United States or not? That election was really cool. I remember I was, talking to people at work, in real life. It was a topic that people discussed, and it was great. Like, we actually had the debate. I'm sure the same stands for the UK. Should we, shouldn't we? At the time, it was all about natural resources here. That's there was no immigration. Like we have a different opinion, it seems, in Canada than the rest of the world, almost right. When it comes to immigration, we kind of get it from a Canadian point of view. Like, if you're if you're an anti-immigrant, be an anti-immigrant. I don't know. Like, I get the economics of it, and I get the economics of it. I don't know. That's basically what it comes down to. Plus, people who my family is a good. My parents are a good case in point. Like people who make that journey of giving up a lifestyle somewhere else for whatever reasons, and set up stakes in a whole new country, whole new environment, culture. They adapt and they make it work. I think all immigrants do that per se. I don't think that there are a bunch of hordes coming over trying to take over and have an easy life. That's just me. I don't know. And it seems from what my read is the Canadian culture is more open. Not there are rumblings about it underneath the surface, but it doesn't seem to be an overriding concern for most Canadians per se. What do I know? I only know my circle and what I see and what I hear. You know, that's it's a very small circle, but it is what it is. That said, during the election, it was interesting because the party that was pushing or was promoting the free trade agreement, they actually had a stand historically of being protectionist. So now they had flipped because there was a commission, and then the commission, the findings of the commission were that if we do a free trade agreement, it would be better for us. We can compete with the American market, and by competing in the American market, we have a whole 10 to what is it like 10 times as large market for Canadian products now uh, to the U.S., which is great. Like as far as I was concerned, and to my delight, I'm a free trader. Oh, by the way, the other party historically were free traders, who now they were kind of forced to take the opposite stand. That said, even their platform was it's just a bad deal, which is again hocus pocus. Like I don't believe any government, anyone in government, is going to roll over, be a Trojan horse per se. Like we will make the worst deal possible for the other side, for our side, so that the other side can reap the benefits. I really don't believe. I don't care like which party or which ideology you are. I just don't believe people get into government to be a Trojan horse for another government. I don't know. That's just me. Anyways, as it turns out, the free traders we won. And when I look at the stats for the next almost 40 years, 35, 40 years, we're doing all right. Even though we had to rework it a couple years back. Again, I'm just Joe Schmo. Like I trust the government, who, by the way, at this time, they stood against said free trade. So now they're actually living up to the promises that the party made 35 years ago, being that it's a whole new deal. They didn't want the deal per se; they weren't looking for it, but the Americans decided they want to rework it, and they did rework it. And from my understanding, limited understanding that I have, it seems to have been, again, a plus plus. That's my 2 cents. That said, I don't know how the Brits will make it work. Their Brexit, they're going it alone. I wish them all the best. I don't know, like, lately they've been talking about not rejoining, but re-evaluating their decision. As well, they should. I mean, that's part of politics. You try something and it doesn't work. How do we fix it? That said, I don't know how that's even possible. my 2 cents. I don't know how the EU is going to sit there and go, sure, you had a nightmare, you woke up now, join. I don't know that they're going to get a better deal than they had before they left. And I don't even know that the EU will want them to come back, because how do I know that in 10 years you're not going to go through another spasm? I don't know. But that seems to be the current debate going on there. And every time they try to, it seems to change their mind, not change their mind, but to let's try to fix this Brexit that we have. There's a minority in that country that gets very vocal and scares the bejesus out of the politicians. I don't know. Anyways, sorry, a little bit of a lower key today. I just wanted to distract myself from what's going on physically today. Not so good today, but this was where my mind went today. Sorry if it's not your cup of tea. It's just what's going on behind the patch this morning. Hope you have a very good rest of the day.